everything same works.
I love to start my tours here because this is where a majority of our guests arrive in the building. About 70% of people arrive through here. This is not owned by the owners. This arena is owned by the City of Calgary. The Flames Foundation is bestowed the honor of looking after this arena. When we built the dome, these are called terrace suites. They're the original.
Like in 1988.
Yeah, we didn't add these. You can have a peek. We won't go in, but you can have a look. In 9 hours, all those channels had to be poured. We had cement trucks coming in, escorted by police. The whole area was cleared, and that was all done. I don't think you could work people that hard anymore. So in there is cables. Those cables are then connected to a ring beam. If you look, you can kind of see speakers, you can see some lights. That ring beam goes all around the building.
Hi guys, right now I'm sitting with Catherine from the Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So, can you please give us a brief introduction to the Alberta Children's Hospital?
Sure. So we are a nationally and internationally recognized leader in child health and research. We have been around since 1922, and there's more than 400,000 kids that visit us every year. And if you've driven around Calgary a little, you'd probably know the building right off, because lots of people recognize it as the big building up on the hill off Shaganappi Trail that looks like a giant Lego building.
Yeah. Can you please tell me about the foundation's role with the hospital?
Sure. So our role is to be the primary fundraisers for the hospital and also for child health and wellness research at the University of Calgary. And our job is to inspire our community to invest in child health and research and family-centered care.
Why is it so important for people to give to the foundation?
Well, the donations that we get that we're so grateful for support all kinds of crucial programs, technology, innovation, the expertise, and every child who walks through the door benefits in some way. So we are very grateful for the great support that we get from our community.
The hospital has been providing healthcare services to children for 100 years. How is the foundation celebrating this incredible milestone?
Well, mostly we're supporting the hospital as they celebrate, because it's their anniversary, their 100 years. But we have a really special ACH 100 art installation that you'll see around the city this year. Right now it's at the hospital on display, and it will stay there for a bit, and then it's going to travel around so the whole community can celebrate with the hospital. And they'll be able to see it at Arts Commons and Heritage Park and at the Stampede grounds this year as well.
So how has COVID affected your fundraising capabilities?
Well, just like everybody else, it's changed lots of things that we've done. So as I mentioned, I work in events. So the events that I usually organize and help to put together have been put on hold, or they've been modified in lots of ways. So virtual instead of in person and those types of things. And so many of our community supporters have had to do the same with the ways that they're helping the hospital raise money as well. But we've been really lucky that Calgarians are an amazing bunch, and our supporters are always excellent and generous, and everybody has stepped up in lots of ways to make sure the kids still had what they need through all of it.
So I read that 32% of the fundraising has gone to children's mental health. How is the Department of Mental Health benefiting from these funds?
Well, I mentioned earlier that the new center is going to open this fall for kids' mental health. So some of the fundraising was for the center itself, both the building and the programs within that center. But there's lots of other places that it supports in the area of mental health too. We have mental health treatment right in the hospital building, of course, so some goes there. There's a new program that will be available at the center, but it's already being used at the hospital right now, called Peer Support, where teenagers and adults in their family who have been through some type of mental health challenge or treatment are trained by experts, and then they come in and they help other families that are just sort of starting that journey and help them to navigate the system and get the help that they need. And there is another program called Acute at Home, where you can get mental health support right in your home or on a Zoom call or by text. So there's lots of different ways that they're doing that right now, and that will continue as well. And I'm going to send you a link for one of the other programs in brain health, not mental health specifically, but it's called Brain Computer Interface. And it's the most amazing project that's going on right now in the hospital, where kids who don't have any way to communicate, so maybe they have something like cerebral palsy or another condition where they're not able to move or speak or communicate as we can, they hook them up to this amazing computer system, and they can move themselves, move other objects, communicate through a computer, play video games with their siblings. It's awesome. And we've got some great stories about that, so I'll make sure you find out about it.
How important is it to bring community awareness to children's health?
Well, I'd say it's very important because kids are our future, right? You guys are going to be the ones that are running the companies and serving the food and building the buildings and coming up with all of the new things that make our world run and grow and get better all the time. So the healthier kids are, usually the healthier you are as an adult as well. So it benefits all of us to make sure that kids are as healthy as they can be.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining my podcast. And I had a lot of fun. It was a great interview. And yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone. We're thrilled to have Calgary Flames star Matthew Tkachuk on my podcast. Matthew, thank you so much for taking the time to join my cross-country tour for Children's Health.
Of course. Love being able to do this with you, and love the energy so far. So let's keep it going.
So people often talk about how important it is to play multiple sports. Do you think it's possible when the game has become so skilled? And what other sports did you play growing up?
I played pretty much everything. And to answer your question, yes, it's very important in my household growing up. Even though my dad played professional hockey, I was never really allowed to play hockey past, spring tournaments. And then I wasn't able to start until my season started in the early fall. So in the summer, I was playing everything. Even during the hockey season, I was playing everything, whether it was soccer in the fall, baseball in the spring, played a little bit of basketball. And then summer was all about like golf and lacrosse and that stuff. So me and my brother played everything. And I just like think about examples like my brother and I, we both pride ourselves on like our hand to eye. And we think that's a big part of the game. And we think that stemmed from, baseball or lacrosse. And my brother even scored one the other night where he literally baseball whacked one out of the middle, out of midair to score. So definitely they all help. And even in hockey, pucks in your feet all the time, soccer, that comes into play. So definitely that's important too.
So you have a great team here in Calgary with a great fan base. What makes Calgary a great place to play hockey?
I think it started when I first got drafted here, just to see their passion, and they're not like crazy passionate. They're like just the right amount. Like it's not like some of the other places that I've seen across the league where they're a little too crazy. They're very respectful. They love their hockey. They love when we're doing well. They're always supporting us, and just the buzz around the city right now with our team has been pretty awesome. And this is my 6th year here, and it's gotten better every year.
So my dad and uncle had an opportunity to play against each other in the CFL. How special is it to play against Brady and to follow your dad's footsteps?
Yeah, it's very cool. I think last year we played against each other like 9 times or 8 times. That might have been a little too much. I think that was, I don't know if we want to do that unless it's, maybe in playoffs, that'd be the only time we'll play each other that many times one day, or if we're playing together, who knows? But I think it's very special. It shows the hard work and the sacrifices made by my parents and, grandparents and, everybody that helped us along the way. And I think when we play each other now, it's only 2 times a year. So they're 2 very, very cool and important games to me. Definitely ones I circle on the calendar before the season. And everybody back home loves it. Everybody, family, friends, if they can come to the game, they always try to get there. But if not, they're always watching. So very cool games.
So as you know, Brady was part of my Ottawa stop of my tour, and he claims that you do most of the trash talking between you. Would you agree?
I just think I'm probably a better talker in general. Like I'll put it back on you. Well, you don't have to answer this on your own podcast, but I already know that I'm probably the better interview so far. out of me and him. But I just think that when it comes to trash talking, I don't think both of us really do it that much. He could probably back up if he does say something better. He's the tougher and scarier one out of us, but I'd say he's not as witty as I am.
So you scored your first goal in the NHL in OT to win the game. Where does that goal rank in like all your goals in your career?
I'd say one of my favorite goals actually is my first goal I scored in St. Louis. It was an afternoon game on like Christmas break. So I had so many people there, friends that were in college and just everybody that was in town for the holidays. And so that ranks right up there. First, goal is up there. First playoff goal is up there. I think lots of them, but I think that's one again. St. Louis was in St. Louis where I grew up, going to the rink pretty much every day with my dad. That was probably the coolest one so far.
Awesome. So now we have some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. So which jersey were you most proud to put on for the very first time, any sport, any level?
Probably the Team USA jersey when I made the US team, the under 17 team.
What is your favorite downtime or off day activity?
During the season, I like just a nice show or watching movies. I'm not a big video game guy. And summer, it's all about golf. I love golfing or doing stuff outside. Anything outside, any activity outside in the summer, especially, I'm all in for. We actually just got back from California, so and had an off day there and went right to the beach. So I like water sports and that stuff too.
So what is your favorite television series?
Either Entourage, The OC, or Game of Thrones.
If it were up to you, what would be playing in the dressing room before you hit the ice?
I'm different than a lot of these guys. I just like a nice country or like just a nice feel good song. Whereas these guys before games, like I can't even think when I go out there for warm ups. Music's so loud, or there's like techno or whatever other BS they listen to. So, if it was up to me, it'd be pretty much the opposite of what we listen to now.
If you could play 3-on-3 with any former NHLers, who would the two players be?
That's an easy one for me. I'd have myself on the wing so I wouldn't have to do as much work. And I'd put my brother in the middle and I put my dad on the other wing.
Awesome. And what athlete, past or present, do you draw most inspiration from?
I probably the easy answer. And it's one that, is pretty, I get asked a lot, but it's my dad. I grew up going to practices, going to games. And I think that even looking back, like even when he was playing, he took all his time out of like the rest of his day to be with, my brother, my sister, and myself. So it was very cool looking back that I had somebody that I obviously wanted to be a professional hockey player from, as long as I can remember, and to have somebody that was one of the best at it at the house each and every day that I could bounce information off of. And I didn't even know I was doing it, but he's easily that answer for me.
Awesome. And in one sentence, what piece of advice can you share with young athletes like me?
It's the same advice that I've been given to it since I've been very little. It's compete and be a good teammate. And if you do those two things, you'll go a long way.
Awesome. We've come to the end of our interview. Thank you so much for joining again, and good luck in the playoffs.
Yep. Thank you. Love it. We'll do it again.